Now, when little Esther Buday was born just 9 months ago, she was diagnosed with Down syndrome and had 2 holes in her heart.
Now, today is World Down Syndrome Day, and Esther joins us with her mother, Anna. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
As if on cue, the little cutie starts smiling.
Clap hands.
Hello, Esther. Hello. So, Anna, can you tell me about Esther's diagnosis of Down syndrome, when you found out, and her heart condition?
So Esther was born last June, and it was a surprise for us. After birth, she was diagnosed with Down syndrome. Then, very few hours later, there was no suspicion that she might have a problem with the heart. So we went to Kremlin, and she was diagnosed with AVSD, which is a condition when baby has 2 holes in the heart.
2 holes.
So since we do frequently visit Kremlin and other appointments.
So Esther is your 5th child.
Yes.
How do you react to getting news like this?
It was shock. I would not lie. It was shock. I think every single parent in the planet is afraid that there is something wrong with the baby.
Yeah.
Because you are straight away afraid about their future. You are thinking how you can help them. These are the initial thoughts you have.
Yeah.
But after this stress is gone, then the first thing is how you're going to protect her, what you are going to do, how you are going to make everything possible that she get the best life in her situation, with her disability, with this new diagnosis. So you change, you know. Like, I knew that time when she was born that I had only 2 options. I can cry and cry and cry and be upset, or I can accept this and just try to fight for her, do for her everything. So that's what
And that is what you're doing, because you're originally from Slovakia. You've been in Ireland for 15 years.
Yes,
You've
that's
got
true.
5 children. But of course, that meant you didn't have the family support. You know,
No.
your family weren't all around
That was
you.
very hard.
And none of them, they haven't met Esther yet, because, you know, we had lockdown and everything.
Yes.
So was that must have been incredibly difficult.
Emotionally, it was very hard, because every mother, when you have a new baby, you want to visit family, you want to show the baby. And then once you don't have that support, if it is harder, you cannot sit to the car and drive to mom and say it's hard, or visit your sister. So from that perspective, that was very hard. But then I had children, and they were great support.
Yeah, and we saw pictures there. She was fed with an NG tube.
Yes, Esther was NG tube fed for 5.5 months.
5.5.
Which was difficult, because it's very time-consuming. It's very emotional difficult. You have to express milk, then you have to, like, you're expressing every 3 hours, day and night.
And what sort of support will she need as she grows up?
Yeah, that support was missing for us, and I find this incredibly challenging and stressful on the top of everything. Because she was NG tube fed, her muscles, her jaw and tongue were not developed that well naturally.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, 10 days actually, on the 10th of March, she had first choking incident. And then it happened next day, which was very scary, because, you know, when you have baby, you're afraid about diagnosis, then you get a heart condition, you're afraid about heart. But then your baby is choking, and then you are there and you don't know what to do. So that was very stressful, because I was requiring and requesting to meet speech and language therapists. You know, I was requiring for help. I was contacting early intervention. I was always told there is no plan for Esther, she doesn't need that. And I said it's impossible to say that there is no plan for a child who is dependent on these services, on these therapies. So only after this choking incident, Down syndrome, they were so nice. They immediately contacted their speech and language therapists, and she met me. I said, no, it's, you have to work with someone who is in the early intervention. So then I have to write complaint, and Esther should be seen by someone this week.
So you're saying Esther's 9 months old, and you haven't had contact from the HSE, you haven't been brought into appointments, speech and language, for physio, for Esther? For nothing?
Physio was also very difficult, because I was requiring since September, and they kept telling me in 2 weeks' time, in 2 weeks' time. Like, I had no contacts, and I was requiring, like, who will be her speech and language, who will be her occupational, who will be her physiotherapist, just so I know what are the critical points, that I will not miss this. But I was always told there is no one assigned. So that was very frustrating, you know, because, like, you know, this child is so dependent on you. Like, it is her constitutional right to get this, and she needs that just for her normal development. She needs that therapies, and there was no one. So I had to go through the process of writing complaints, which was tiring. Then of course they contact me and they tell me, oh, there is no plan for Esther, and that was heartbreaking. How there can be no plan for babies who needs that.
Reading this, that almost half children between the age of newborns to 18 with these disabilities have had no therapy of any kind in the last year. I mean, that seems insane to me.
It is.
I mean, why has there been no therapy being offered?
To be honest, in one way, I think this is neglect. And I am here today. Yes, I am trying to speak for Esther, but it's not only about Esther. It's about every single baby with Down syndrome or with any special needs.
Yeah.
Because for parents, this is hard.
Is it due to COVID? Is it due to...
On start, yes, they were saying it's COVID, but then when restrictions were lifted, nothing happened. And people, I can't say my own experience. I was requiring and nothing happened, so I don't really know.
And do you go to your GP about this, and they're just able to write letters and then no response?
I went to GP, and GP said that's unacceptable. She has to be seen immediately. So he also contacted early intervention, but nothing happened until complaint.
Until
complaint, and nothing happened with the speech and language and occupational after she had choking incident.
Wow.
My problem is, do we have to wait until something serious, extreme happened? I think that's unacceptable. Especially given to the low muscle tone for babies diagnosed with Down syndrome, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Plus, she was NG-tube fed for 5.5 months. That help should be there from 6 months, because you can help your child. You do things what your intuition said, but you are not professional speech and language. You're not physiotherapist, and it's tiring. I exercise with Esther since she was born. I read probably all possible books available about Down syndrome.
Yeah.
But then I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted to contact everybody, to write complaints, it's incredibly hard.
It's not like you are sitting at home not doing anything. You are doing everything that you possibly can.
Well, so up to now,
but you're not, as you mentioned, a professional, and you're speaking for all families of children with special needs. I know that that's very important to you, that it's not just about your gorgeous child.
I can be here.
Hello.
Right. And Esther is speaking for everybody.
She is. Go, Esther.
All her friends.
I know she's got 2 holes in her heart. Is that going to be able to be operated on? What's happening with her?
Yes, when she was born, there was only one option, open heart surgery within 2 weeks. But we have amazing cardiologists, Professor Colin and Mahon in Kremlin. He was extremely supportive, very supportive from start. When he knew I want to breastfeed her or express milk, she said, okay, maybe we can give her 2 more weeks chance. And from 2 weeks and 2 weeks, she's now 9 months. One hole is closed. And a big hole, which was very big, because it was over 9 millimeters, now only 4.5 millimeters.
Okay.
Which is which we are down from open heart surgery to keyhole surgery. So we are going to meet him in 3 weeks' time. But I think it's a miracle itself that Esther is here without any intervention. And she's a fighter. She wants to live.
Yeah, listen, and that's wonderful news to hear, but to hear that the treatments are just not available and you have to actually complain to get them is just frightening. We know about the backlogs in hospitals and how difficult it is at the minute, but when you have a little baby so young, just looking for help.
I can also state that, Esther is, for me, baby number 5.
Yeah.
But if you have first baby with diagnosis, it's extremely difficult for parents.
It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
You should get that support, because you have to fight hard. You have to fight other diagnoses. You have to accept, because you have to accept diagnosis of Down syndrome for a while, even though you dearly love your child. But to fight all of this on the top, that's caused extreme stress. So.
Anna, listen, we just want to thank you so much for coming in this morning with Esther. It is World Down Syndrome Day, and Esther does what we do to our floor manager, Anne, all the time. When Anne said hello to her, she just went... at not listening to her at all. Esther is a dote, and we thank you so much, and we hope that you get the interview and you don't have to fight so much. And thank you for speaking for families this morning. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Anna. And remember, for more information and to donate to Down Syndrome Ireland, please head to their website. It's downsyndromeIreland.ie. They're asking you to put on your colourful socks today and share it on social media and donate if you can to Down Syndrome Ireland.
Yes, plenty more to come this hour. We'll see you in